This is hard, man. This is really hard. I First off, I'm gonna say I apologize if this video feels slow. Um, I'm recording this right after the game, so forgive me again if things are slow or whatever. But I'm gonna take my time here. I don't know how long this video is gonna be, but I'm gonna say what I have to say to all of you out there watching. Um, First of all, if you've never been on the channel before, my name is Tailgate, and I do reaction videos like this after every Ohio State game, but I do other college football content too, so make sure you guys subscribe and do all of that. No one wanted us here. No one wanted this team in the playoff. Everybody thought as soon as you look at the last game on that schedule, as soon as that game was done, everyone thought we were done too. Everyone questioned our physicality, our toughness, our preparation. CJ Stroud got some unnecessary criticism over his play, and just so many different things being thrown the way of this program. Skepticism about Ryan Day's job and his job security, and just if he's the answer, and if this Ohio State team is really good enough as soon as they got into the playoff. Oh, you're going to get run over by Georgia. Georgia's going to run you out of the building. It's not even going to be close. I am so damn proud of this team, and I can't overstate that anymore. I can't. This team worked their absolute behinds off. It was such a good game to watch. This was such a fun yet exhausting Saturday. If you missed a second of college football today, what are you doing? Especially these last two games. I mean, Michigan, TCU, that was phenomenal. And then this game right here was phenomenal all the way down to the wire as well. Ohio State definitely had their chances to win it. But I am also at the same time not unhappy with the result that the final scoreboard showed. I'm so proud of the way that these boys fought and played, and this was just such an amazing game to watch. And we're going to break it down. I'm going to get all of my thoughts out here on the season and on just this team moving forward. I'm just beyond proud. Yes, it is disappointing. My emotions were running so high, especially towards the end of this game. But, I mean, give credit to the Georgia Bulldogs. That is the best team in the nation, 100%. And they absolutely deserve a shot to go defend their national title. Again, when you're the defending national champs, you're going to be hard to beat. And Georgia definitely was a hard team to beat. And Ohio State came just this close. So let's go ahead, and I honestly don't even know where to start. I really have no idea where to start. I'm going to start with CJ Stroud. Let's start with CJ Stroud. Unwanted, unnecessary criticism entering this game. Questioning his play. I know he had received death threats, which is unwarranted to anybody, no matter the situation that they're in, ever. This team's toughness and physicality was questioned, and especially when you look at the monster, the beast that is Georgia on the other side of that line, it was definitely warranted the question of whether or not Ohio State was able to keep up, and boy, did they. This offensive line, for the most part, was very good today. CJ Stroud was an absolute baller, 348 yards and 4 touchdowns, 11 incompletions on the day. This CJ Stroud, this is the game of his career. And to anyone doubting CJ Stroud's abilities or his willingness to compete or just his factor going up into the next level, as CJ Stroud's probably going to end up going to play in the NFL, go watch this game again. CJ Stroud is an absolute baller. This kid is an NFL talent, and I couldn't be more proud to call CJ Stroud the quarterback of my team. He was phenomenal today, and what I was super impressed with CJ was his ability to create things outside the pocket. He got outside the pocket. He ran. He scrambled. He threw on the run today. And you have not seen that from CJ Stroud hardly at all in his career at Ohio State, known as a pocket passer. And the one thing I wanted to see CJ do is it's starting to get back in style, is get out of the pocket and create some plays. And CJ Stroud absolutely did that today. And he was hitting some strikes to receivers. Marvin Harrison ended up getting out with what seemed to be a concussion. I hope that he is okay. He is coming back to this team. I think the best receiver in all of college football, Emeka Egbuka, led the team. He's coming back, both those guys with 100 yards receiving. Julian Fleming was great. X was a huge factor in this game. He had Cade Stover go out with an injury, so Royer had to come in and play some snaps, and he was solid. You had Dallin Hayden, Mayan Williams, Xavier Johnson running the ball. Just really, really good stuff from them. I am very proud with the way that this offense played. And I know the score and the stats may not say it. Ohio State gave up over 500 yards to this Georgia offense, almost 300, or I should say almost 400 yards through the air. But damn, dude, did this defense play their absolute behinds off. And I am really, really proud of the way that this defense has come from last year into this year. If you told me that Ohio State was going to go neck and neck with Georgia a year ago, I thought you would have been crazy. And just the improvement that Jim Knowles has come in and made on this defense this year is absolutely insane. It should get better in year two. I'll talk about next year briefly at the end of this video, but just absolutely unreal performance from this Ohio State team. This was by far and away their best game of the season. Now, I know I'm trying to make this a good moment here, but our defense gave up a lot of big plays today. A lot of big plays. And I think in the end, they ended up costing us the game. Go ahead and look at that 76-yard touchdown pass to Arian Smith. He was wide open. Granted, Lathan Ransom tripped, and if he would have stayed up, who knows what happens. Lots of chunk plays. When you look at Georgia's receiving stats, they had 7 guys that had at least a 20-yard catch or more. You had Kenny McIntosh with a 52-yard run. Edwards had a 21-yard run. Kendall Milton with a 15-yard run. What our defense did really well, though, is they did get pressure on Stetson Bennett. They forced him into some bad throws, including picking him off once. And they didn't let Stetson Bennett get outside of the pocket that much, which is a very good thing when you play this Georgia team, because that's a very underrated part of Stetson Bennett's game, is being able to get outside of the pocket and be able to create things outside there. So just really proud of the way that our guys battled and performed. And I feel so bad for no one else than Noah Ruggles. I mean, sometimes, now I'm not going to sit here and act like I know everything there is to know about kicking, because I don't. But what I do know is that sometimes you can put a little too much thought into your kick. And sometimes you can put a little too much on it. And that's probably what ended up happening to Noah Ruggles there. Now, if you want to explain it in terms of X's and O's, Georgia was housing that kick. There were players up with their hands up blocking the line all over the place. And in my opinion, Ruggles put that in really the only spot where there was not a Georgia defender to get a hand on the football, and it just had bad spin. So there's your X's and O's explanation. There's your psyche explanation. I don't know what else you want from me. But Noah Ruggles, such a reliable kicker. Super proud of the way he's performed in an Ohio State uniform this season. And that kick, just, yeah, fans of the Scarlet and Gray out there, you wish that kick could have gone differently. But this was such a fun game. The TCU-Michigan game was such a fun game. Yeah, I definitely disagreed with some of the officiating calls that were made in that game. But good for TCU, man. Good for Sonny Dykes. They're going to go play Georgia, and Georgia's got a chance to defend their national championship crown. I give nothing but credit to the Georgia Bulldogs. I love me some Stetson Bennett action. I think he's a really, really good quarterback. And looking back a couple years ago, how we were saying Stetson Bennett is a nobody and he'll never amount to anything was just ludicrous. Stetson Bennett's a really, really good quarterback for this Georgia team. They took advantage of what Ohio State gave to them on the defensive end. And defensively, well, I mean, they are the Georgia Bulldogs. They are built on their defense, and their defense came up large when it had to, forcing Ohio State to some field goals late, and not letting Ohio State get closer to try that possible game winner there at the end of the game. So that's going to kind of do it for my game recap here. Let's go ahead and talk about this team for a second. And I know to the fans of Ohio State out there, this might be tough to hear, but I'm really, really, really happy with the way this team played this season. Yes, I know we ended up losing that game to Michigan. Yes, I know this loss absolutely hurts when we snuck into the college football playoff. But you know what? You lose sometimes. It happens. Sometimes you get out-schemed. But if there is any Buckeye fan out there that's doubting yourselves right now, pick yourselves right back up. There is no reason to hang your head about this game right here because Ohio State played phenomenally. And this was by far the best performance that Ohio State strung together this season, and that is a fact. That is a definite fact. So, my apologies. My throat is hoarse from literally all the screaming I've been doing all day. But if you are a fan of the Scarlet and Gray, there is no reason to hang your head about this game. Ohio State played their absolute butts off against the #1 team in the nation and the reigning national champ. And Georgia is a very, very good football team. Again, all the credit given to what Kirby Smart did, to what this Georgia defense did, to what this Georgia offense has done. And again, they have a chance to go defend their national title, rightly so. But I said it in my introduction to this video, nobody wanted Ohio State in the college football playoff. Nobody wanted Ohio State here. We were questioned. We were challenged. The people were saying, you aren't good enough. You are going to get run out of the building by the Georgia Bulldogs, and that is not what happened at all. This was an absolute classic game. This game is going to be shown to people 100 years down the line. Both games today probably end up well, but this was just such a fun, and might I add, clean game too, which always make for some of the more fun games to watch, in my opinion, when they're clean. And this was a very clean game. Yeah, sure, mistakes made by both teams, fine. But a remarkably clean game for the most part here. So you always got to have credit for that. Sorry if you hear fireworks again. Oh, Happy New Year's to everyone. I'm sorry. Have I not said that yet? I apologize. Happy New Year's to everyone. I hope everyone is having a fantastic New Year's. This is a great way to spring yourself into 2023. As I'm recording this, it hasn't hit New Year's yet for me. But again, I don't know how much longer this video is going to go. I'm just going to kind of talk and see when I'm done. Sound good? Sound good. To anyone out there who's not a fan of the Scarlet and Gray, whether you're a fan of the Maize and Blue or the Georgia Bulldogs, any of the teams Ohio State's played on the schedule, heck, if you love Ohio State, hate Ohio State, but you don't wear the colors of Scarlet and Gray, you can throw whatever you want at me, and nothing's going to change my opinion about this team. This team was physical, this team battled, and this team fought really hard until the clock hit triple zeros. This was a phenomenal game, and anyone that says otherwise, anyone that still questions the way that this Ohio State team this year is seen or looked at can, in one ear, out the other. Because I'm telling you, this team was remarkable tonight. Absolutely remarkable. This may be the best game that I've ever seen Ohio State play. Period. End of story. This was a phenomenal game, and it was in a losing effort. You got to be proud of the way that these Ohio State Buckeyes played. And if you're still out there questioning, well, you know what? They gave up a lot of big plays to Georgia. That defense is still not where it will be this season. Look at the way that Ohio State battled this game. And the defense made some amazing plays today as well. And that defense, first year under Jim Knowles, it is only going to get better. It's only going to get better. And I'm super impressed with the way this defense grew as the season went along. I'm super impressed with the way that CJ Stroud played. And I'm probably repeating myself a lot, but again, I'm just talking. I want to make sure I get everything out and don't miss anything. That's probably going to do it for my section on kind of recapping this game. But let's go ahead and talk about some of the players here that wear scarlet and gray. CJ Stroud. I know CJ Stroud is not going to see this video, okay? I just know it's not going to happen. But CJ, I adore you, man. I love you. You were criticized. You were questioned from your first ever start on the road against Minnesota. And then after the Oregon loss, after these two Michigan losses as well, Stroud was criticized and he was questioned. And Stroud has been told numerous amount of times that he is not good enough. And well, tonight, I don't know how you can still say those things about CJ Stroud. He was an absolute baller. He worked his tail off. This was the best game of his career by far. And I know that he has a bigger stat line in the Rose Bowl last year. He has bigger stat lines against teams like Rutgers or Toledo. Heck, he has 550 yard, 6 touchdown performances out there on his record. Throw all of those out because this was the best game that CJ Stroud has ever played wearing this jersey. Ever. And it sucks that CJ Stroud has to go out like this, but I am still immensely proud of the way that CJ Stroud has played, has fought, and has battled throughout all of the criticism. All of his haters proven wrong today. If you never thought CJ Stroud would amount to anything, go ahead and look at this game and tell me that CJ Stroud is not an NFL-ready quarterback or is not one of, if not the best quarterbacks in college football right now. You can't do it, because don't tell me you can, because you can't do it. Super proud of the way that CJ Stroud played. Most of the other guys on this offense are coming back, to my knowledge. Dallin Hayden, Travion Henderson. Not quite sure about Mayan Williams yet, but Henderson and Hayden are coming back. Marvin Harrison is coming back. Emeka Egbuka is coming back. I believe Julian Fleming, if he doesn't enter the portal, is coming back as well. Cade Stover, I do believe, is gone. Along with some of the guys on the offensive line, they're going to go to the NFL. But really, my main message for the offense goes out to CJ. You're an absolute baller, dude, and I know people are going to look back. He's 0-2 against Michigan. He's not a good Ohio State quarterback. You've had better. I honestly don't think I've seen a better quarterback suit up in this jersey, and I mean that with full sincerity. Really, really proud of the way that CJ Stroud played throughout his career, and especially throughout this game today. He fought tooth and nail for 60 minutes. He did not give up once, and you got to be proud of that. To the defensive effort this year. Yeah, there were times where the defense has been questioned, especially in that game against Michigan, where it was told it's not physical, it's not good enough, it cannot stop the run game. Something I haven't noted, or something I haven't told, we held Georgia to 135 yards. We held Georgia to 135 yards today, rushing. And if you were to told me we were only going to hold Georgia to 135 yards rushing in this game, I would have told you you're nuts, go home. But I also would have been like, ooh, okay, that's really, really good. Yes, 5.2 yards per carry, but that's not bad considering 52 of those are on a 52-yard run from Kenny McIntosh. The majority of the day, this Ohio State team was really, really good defensively, and I know this team gave up a lot of big plays, but that's the nature of the Jim Knowles defense. And year one of Jim Knowles, that's it. This is year one. This team still has such a way to grow, and a lot of pieces are coming back. You got a lot of pieces on the defensive line. The secondary is still very young. We got some recruits sitting in the wings that can have some really good seasons next year. Next year, Ohio State defense could be very, very scary. And I'm not going to sit here and be the magic 8 ball and or be the all-seeing eye and say Ohio State's going to have a tremendous defense next year, but the potential is there, right? The potential is there for this defense to only do bigger and better things next season. And Noah Ruggles, I absolutely adore him as well. He's such a reliable kicker, and to have that much pressure on him at the end, it almost seems unfair to have that much pressure on a guy that kicks the football. And I know Noah Ruggles wants to have that kick back. I know he does, and I know every Ohio State fan wants to have that kick back. But I'm super proud of the way that Noah Ruggles battled. He did his job today. He made some really good kicks, and just that 50-yarder, man. Noah Ruggles, I can imagine, might have a hard time sleeping tonight, but I'm super proud of the way that Noah Ruggles has performed in an Ohio State uniform. To all of the seniors and NFL draft picks that are going to be leaving this team, I am super proud of the way that you guys battled today. I am tremendously proud of this team. I cannot overstate that enough, and I'll probably say it 50 more times before this video is over, and it still won't be enough to just tell this team in scarlet and gray how proud I am. To the coaching staff out there, let's start with Jim Knowles. Thanks for turning this defense around, man, because really, if you look at the defense from last year and the defense in this year, it is a completely new beast. And Jim Knowles is just only starting to get his system worked into this Ohio State program. And again, I've said it, the defense has the potential to be pretty scary next season with a lot of these guys coming back. And they will only get better about limiting those big plays. They'll be better about getting pressure into the quarterback, and just the Ohio State's defense only has the potential to improve in a lot of areas. And Ryan Day. Look, Ryan Day was scrutinized. He was his job was questioned. He's being called the next John Cooper. There were some phenomenal play calls in this game. Just some phenomenal. That fake punt. Oh, if only Kirby Smart wouldn't have gotten that timeout off, that would have been massive. That fake punt call, that was almost the call of the year. And just the absolute grandmaster of chess, Kirby Smart himself, ended up calling that timeout. He caught on to what Ohio State was doing at the perfect moment and barely saved that game. That might have been the turning point in that game, actually. But I think you can look to a lot of points as the turning point in this game. But Ohio State had a shot towards the end. And you know what? Sometimes you don't deliver. And sometimes you have to go home with a loss. But I'm not going to sit here and feel pity. I'm not going to sit here and take anyone's crap because this was an Ohio State team that played their ass off today. They really, really did. And I couldn't be more proud of the way that this team played today. I'm going to try not to be emotional on camera, but sorry if it comes out. That's a warning that should have been given at the beginning of the video, but I've done a good job holding it together since then. Right? Right. Okay. Man, what a game, dude. I'm going to remember this one for a long time, just the way that Ohio State battled. Yes, it was in a losing effort, but Georgia is a really, 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 really good team. And we actually ended up controlling most of this game, and then Georgia did what Georgia does best. They dominated that fourth quarter. They made the big plays when they needed it most, and Georgia was able to come away here with a win in this game. I am definitely a little upset with the way that this game turned out, but at the end of the day, I can do nothing but hang my head high, because this was a phenomenal performance from CJ Stroud, from this Ohio State skills corps, from Ryan Day, Kevin Wilson, Jim Knowles. This was incredible. And I know we'll be looking to fill that quarterback position. CJ, good luck at the next level, my man. I'll be keeping a close eye on you, and I hope for nothing but the best for CJ Stroud. And to all the Ohio State players going to the next level, someone I haven't mentioned yet, Jackson Smith in Jigba. He's an absolute beast. He's going to perform really well at the next level as well. I wish good luck to you. But moving on to next season, what can we expect out of Ohio State next year? Well, I think it's going to be much of the same. Ohio State's going to be a contender in the Big Ten next year. Yeah, they're going to end up filling that quarterback spot. Probably going to end up being Kyle McCord, although Devin Brown, I think, can definitely push for that spot as well. You got a lot of skill position players coming back, including the best wide receiver in college football in Marvin Harrison, Emeka Egbuka, probably Julian Fleming. At the running back position, you have Travion Henderson, Dallin Hayden, probably Mayan Williams there as well. Tight end will fill someone in there. And this defense has a lot of young parts that are coming back next season. I couldn't be more proud of the way that this team played today. And to all you haters out there, I don't care. I don't care what you say to me. I don't care what... I really just don't care. Because this team played their ass off today. Couldn't be more proud. This was such a great game to watch. All the credit in the world goes to Kirby Smart and the Georgia Bulldogs. That is a phenomenal team. And Ohio State battled till the very, very end with that team. So, I don't really think I have anything else to say. I think I've kind of said my piece and said what I've needed to say. So, to all you fans in Scarlet and Gray, I know it's not the season that maybe you wanted, but sometimes maybe it's the season that you need. That definitely would have changed things about this season if given the opportunity, but honestly, I wouldn't. Yeah, that loss to Michigan sucked and it's hard to bear. Yes, this game was heartbreaking, the way that Noah Ruggles ended up missing that kick, but you got to applaud the effort, and nothing but credit should be thrown the way of this Ohio State team after they were doubted, after they were told that you do not belong in Atlanta in the college football playoff and Georgia's going to run you out of the building. That's not what happened. Ohio State fought tooth and nail. What an incredible game, an instant classic. Same thing with the Verbo Fiesta Bowl as well. And man, am I already looking forward to the national championship game on January 9th, even if it doesn't involve my boys in Scarlet and Gray. Ohio State fans, this still an 11-win season. I know, but some people are going to look and say it's a disappointment, and I can't view it that way at all. In fact, I view it every other way but it being a disappointing season. What a season for this team. What a performance in this game. I am super, super proud of the way that these boys have played, and just hats off to everyone involved here in this game on both sides. So, wow, we're almost at the halfway mark. I don't think I have anything else to say. I think that's it. Ohio State fans, no reason to hang your head. This was still a very, very successful season. And here's to another year in 2023. Happy New Year, by the way. It's almost cross New Year in my time, and it's probably cross New Year's in a lot of your time zones as well. So I appreciate everyone out there so much for watching. Thank you for the support on the channel this year. And please feel free to check out my national championship preview and prediction when that comes out this upcoming week. I am hopping on a plane to go to Ohio to visit family tomorrow. So no videos, no anything like that. I'm going to go spend time with family. Once I come back, though, we'll start previewing the national championship game, breaking down some matchups, give you everything that you need to know about that game, including what Tailgate Nate thinks is going to happen. What a game. What a performance. Couldn't be more proud of this team. And we're going to leave it at that. Thank you all so much for watching. A great 2022 season, and here's to another great year in 2023. Remember to play hard, but tailgate harder. Buckeye football. We'll see you in 8 months. Goodbye.